Colin Seitz, another first-team all-conference player. Tijon Walcott, number 14, Michael Carr, number 16, Brady Seitz, who scored the second goal, and back on defense, number 17, Macklin Willigan, and number 23, Nick John. And we are about to get underway. Oneonta has the opening kick. They will play it deep. Nobody there, and we are underway. Oneonta with the first real possession of the game, quickly dispossessed by the Fords, and now you see the first touches for the Fords. A brisk day here on Walton Field, although you would not know it from the attire the teams are wearing. Neither team relenting. They're both going with shorts and t-shirts. You also notice, if you catch a view of Haverford coach Shane Rainier, he is also wearing shorts. It's become a little bit of a superstition for him, and obviously it's working as the Fords bring a 16-game winning streak into play today. So, again with the shorts, despite the brisk weather. Haverford takes the ball across midfield, but it will be off of Seitz for an Oneonta throw-in. Headed back into the defense by Colin Seitz. Oneonta returns the favor with a kick from Anthony Passatore. That'll be easily collected in the box by Sam Miller. Wind's starting to pick up. It seems to be headed on a little bit of an angle towards the bottom right corner of your screen, so slightly pushing towards Haverford, more in the face of the team's benches as you watch the game. Both these teams got out to early 1-0 leads yesterday in their eventual 2-0 win, so we'll see who can strike first and if that goal will also be the game-winning goal in today's contest. Oneonta with the first possession in the box. Shot saved by Sam Miller, out of bounds. That will go out of bounds for a corner kick. Looks like it will be, I believe, Sean Vinberg or Dylan Williams taking this kick for the Red Dragons. It will be Vinberg as I see Williams in the box. Cross to the far post, too far. It goes over the end line, and we will see a goal kick from the Fords. So the Red Dragons with the first chance of the game. Nice save by Sam Miller. We stay scoreless here, just under 3 minutes into this NCAA quarterfinal match. Willigan to take the goal kick for the Fords. Lofted kick will land right about at midfield. Nicholson challenges. He wins for Carr and Seitz. Seitz plays it on looking for Walcott. That pass broken up by the Red Dragons defense. Colin Seitz there to knock it back in. That will be headed out by Passatore, and it will go for a throw-in. Colin Seitz to take it for the Fords. Again looking for Walcott. Oneonta wins the first two headers, and it's settled by number 9, Hans Pertel, but he tries to find a forward up top, but he only finds Will Corkery, and Corkery will send it back to his defense. Here you see Sam Yarsh, the Centennial Conference Player of the Year, with the ball. Dispossessed as he is whistled for the foul. The first foul of the game will go against the Fords, and it will be a kick upcoming for the Red Dragons. A little bit of a slip there on the Haverford defense. Ben Clark there to clean up any trouble spot. Now Fords with the ball back in their box. Ben Clark and Willigan. They find Seitz. Seitz does a nice job keeping it in. Santangelo thought it was going out. It did not, allowing Seitz to beat him. Nick John now with the ball on the far sideline. Nick John looking for Carr. He lets it go, but slips trying to get around his defender, and Oneonta will take over the possession with Greg Silvestro. Plays it back to Pellegrino. Pellegrino will play a long kick down the far left sideline. That ball will go out of bounds, and it will be a throw-in for the Fords as Nick John makes his way over to the far sideline on your screen for the upcoming throw. He finds Corkery on the throw. Corkery, the holding midfielder, finds Nicholson and eventually back to Ben Clark. Clark has 3 Red Dragons in front of him looking for some space. He'll eventually square it off to Willigan. Willigan now looking for Corkery, who passes it back to Willigan, and now they find Nick John over on the far sideline. Back to Corkery now as he takes some space in the midfield. Now he finds Michael Carr out on the wing. Carr has Seitz. Seitz plays it on to Walcott, just a step behind him, and to deny that chance. Now Michael Carr with the ball just outside of the box finds Seitz. Seitz tries to play it in. Tijon Walcott looking for the cross. Blocked away by the defense, and the Red Dragons will clear. Referee says that was a Haverford throw-in taken by Nick John. Both players pointing in their direction. It was awarded to Haverford. Back around to the defense. Ben Clark here. His pass intercepted by Hans Pertel, and Passatore will pass it up to his forward, looking for, I believe that is Jake Sutherland. That ball knocked out of bounds by Ben Clark, but it will go out of bounds for a throw in here to be taken by number 13, Matthew Mateo. Appears we may have had a late switch in the starting lineup, as Mateo was not on the original list I got, so Mateo is in the lineup. His throw into the box cleared out by Nicholson once, Yarish twice, still in danger. Possessed by Pertel, and finally Colin Seitz clears it out of the box. That ball booted back in by the Red Dragons. Jared Van Brunt, the Conference Player of the Year, too far, and it will go out of bounds for another goal kick for the Fords. Again, Willigan back to take the kick for the Fords, just under 7 minutes into this NCAA game. Header won by Seitz. He'll try to find Yarish unsuccessfully. Red Dragons will look for number 9, Hans Pertel, on the sideline. That pass also too far, and it will be a throw-in for Colin Seitz, looking for Brady Seitz. He will chest it down. Plays with himself, tries to find Yarish. Fords eventually settle the possession. They try to find Walcott. Van Brunt's there to intercept that pass. Greg Silvestro back in the midfield. There's Winiarski with some of his first touches of the game. Ball played down towards the end line, saved by Sutherland. Sutherland now looking for a cross. Knocked up in the box by the Red Dragons. Stopped by Clark. Shot by number 7, Anthony Passatore. Sliding block by Will Corkery. Blocked the initial shot, but I believe that will be called a handball, and an early opportunity here for the Red Dragons just outside of the 18. We'll see how far the referee will back the Fords wall up to, probably right around the penalty spot, and that will be where it is. Looks like Winiarski is on the ball for the Red Dragons. And a great stop by Sam Miller, reaching up to the upper 90. Or it looks like that was actually not stopped by Miller. It looks like it was off the crossbar and over the net, so it will be a goal kick for the Fords. Early chance by the Red Dragons is denied by the crossbar. Willigan to again take the kick. Another high lofting kick. Nicholson challenging Santangelo. Possession will be won by Corkery. He'll play it over to Nick John, who's looking for Michael Carr. Carr again finds Corkery. Corkery tries to knock it through. He and Yarish not on the same page, and the Red Dragons defense will take over. Long ball played down by the Red Dragons. Nick John chasing Sutherland down the far sideline. That ball rolls over the end line, and we will see another kick from Macklin Willigan, the second team all-conference defender for the Fords. Willigan's kick appeared to get caught up in the wind a little bit on that one. After a bounce, it'll be settled by John, but his pass finds the Red Dragons' Hans Pertel. This time taken away by Colin Seitz. He's fighting with Pertel. One back by the Red Dragons. Now Brady Seitz challenging, and he will be called for the foul on Pertel, and that will be our third whistle, of the opening half on the Fords. Ball flicked on by Winiarski. Nick John will just knock that out of bounds as he had pressure on his backside. Red Dragons here with a throw just about 5 yards from the end line. Passes into Nick. John tries to clear it. Doesn't quite get it out of bounds. The attempted cross from the Red Dragons eventually stopped by Nicholson. He'll play it up to tries to play it up to Walcott. Red Dragons defense with the step, and they will come back again. Little room here for the Red Dragons to cross on the far side. Ben Clark out to head that away. There's Pastore with the ball at the top of the box. He'll play it over to Mateo. Mateo guarded by Seitz. Seitz twins with the double team, and it will be Brady Seitz. Colin Seitz with the initial stick. Brady Seitz takes away the possession, but Silvestro comes to take away his possession. Now one back by the Fords. Colin Seitz trying to find the sideline. He will. A successful turn for the Fords as Will Corkery was there to pick up possession, but Colin Seitz taken down on the play. Will Corkery here with room in the midfield. He'll play it long to Seitz. Seitz heads it on looking for space now, guarded by Mateo. He knocks it off of Mateo, and it will be Haverford's first corner of the game. Will Corkery coming over to the near corner flag, and the home crowd coming to its feet here as they're trying to will the Fords to another early goal. 32-30 to play here in the opening half. Fords putting everybody right on the goal line. Corkery's ball headed out by the Red Dragons. Ben Clark there to knock it. Actually, he'll play it out to Corkery, and Corkery will play it back into the box. Shot by Sam Yarish. Sam Yarish with a goal. Oh no, they called that offsides on the Fords. Wave that goal away. The Fords thought they had an early 1-0 lead again on the foot of Sam Yarish, only to see the referee's flag in the offsides position. Believe that might have also hit off of Willigan. Not sure who the official goal would have gone to. Either way, it's null and void now as the official waves it offsides, and we resume here with a 0-0 game. Colin Seitz stepping up to knock the ball out of play. He'll go out of bounds for a throw to be taken by Mateo. Mateo throws it into Winiarski. Dylan Williams and Sutherland over there. Winiarski and Corkery get tangled up, but it will be Corey Santangelo who comes away with possession for the Red Dragons. He'll play it off to Williams. Eventually taken away by freshman Michael Carr. He finds Willigan, and now they're up to Walcott. Walcott taken down, and that will be a foul on the Red Dragons. So Haverford with their first free kick of the game off a foul. Obviously they had the early corner. First foul on the Red Dragons occurs just in midfield. Fords won't play it too long. They just want to keep possession here. They'll move it around their defensive third with Clark and Willigan. Willigan now taking some space. He'll find Nicholson. Nicholson now takes a little more space, dribbling into two defenders. He'll cut it back and find Nick John. Nick John now with some room. And he'll play it back to Willigan. 30 minutes to go here in the opening half. Still scoreless after a goal from the Fords was waved off. Willigan looking for the crossfield pass to Brady Seitz. That ball too far for the senior first team all-conference player. And there you see on the throw from Mateo a bump from number 20 Corey Santangelo on Corkery. So Corkery will be rewarded here, taking the free kick for the Fords just behind the midfield line. He's looking for Seitz, headed away by the Red Dragons defense, but Seitz will keep possession in the corner now. A double team coming, and it will be knocked out of bounds as number 9 Hans Pertel comes in to double team Corkery. It will be a throw to be taken by Colin Seitz. Colin Seitz now plays it back to Corkery. Corkery thought he might go into the box. He will not. He'll play it to Nick John, who has plenty of room out on the right side. Nick John looking in for Yarish. Yarish and Nicholson try to connect. That pass broken up by the Red Dragons, and it will go out of bounds for a throw to be taken by Nick John. Throw into Michael Carr, taken away by the Red Dragons. They will boot it upfield, shielded out of bounds. Macklin Willigan shielding Jake Sutherland. That ball will go out of bounds. Nick Johns will throw it back to Ben Clark. And the Fords will reset here with Corkery. Plays it back to Clark. Clark looking for a teammate. He finds Brady Seitz, guarded closely by Mateo. Brady Seitz able to slip Mateo, then slips off his feet. Regains to find Nicholson. Nicholson now playing for the far corner. Looking for Nick John, who's running onto that ball too far out in front, and it will be a throw-in for the Red Dragons. Ball cleared up out of the Red Dragons zone. Little miss hit there by Ben Clark, and the Red Dragons will take possession. Clark now rebounds with a great slide tackle, knocks the possession to Nicholson. Nicholson with a defender coming on hard. I believe that's Pertel. He'll find Colin Seitz. Number 5, Jared Van Brunt, and number 10, Tijon Walcott both collide. Looking for that ball played by Colin Seitz. Referee will blow that play dead and give the Fords another kick. This one about 15 yards inside of midfield to be taken by Corkery. Red Dragons will set their line right at the top of the 18, now moving a couple steps inside of the 18. Corkery's delivery into the box, looking for Nicholson on the far side. Pellegrino jumps up and grabs that ball. We saw Pellegrino with a very strong shutout effort yesterday, as did Haverford goalie Sam Miller. Pellegrino with his first action of the day stops a Ford scoring chance. He will punt it away. First two headers won by Colin Seitz and Sam Yarish. Second header won by Michael Carr, and now Red Dragons try to settle, but it will be Carr who takes possession. Brady Seitz with his hand up, calling for the ball. Seitz had the defender beat. That was number 13, Mateo, but the SUNY AC Defensive Player of the Year, Jared Van Brunt, in there. Van Brunt in there to knock it away, and it will be the second corner chance of the game for the Fords. The fans know they were close on the first try. Haverford again going with the similar formation. They will put everybody on the line. Punched away by Pellegrino. Michael Carr there to knock it out to Corkery. He'll reset. Willigan with a header, unsuccessful. Nicholson goes down in the box. Referee says there was no foul there. Referee says that will actually be a foul on Haverford, and Pellegrino will take the kick, which is not much more than a goal kick, maybe a yard or two outside of the 6. Tijon Walcott looking to run on. He's guarded by Silvestro, excuse me. Michael Carr settles in possession on the far sideline, but that is knocked out of bounds for a Haverford throw-in. Number 23, Nick John. As it looks like we have an injured player on the field, that is number 7, Sam Yarish. Yarish standing up on his own, and he will not go in for Yarish. He will go in for Michael Carr. That is the sophomore Ben Field. Field comes into today's game with 5 goals and 3 assists. He has appeared in all but one of the Fords games, making 3 starts on the year. Now you see possession won by Nicholson. Nicholson looking for Brady Seitz in the box, knocked away by the defense. Possession kept alive by Corkery. Thought he had Yarish out square. He did not. Ball intercepted by Hans Petrell, and they will knock it down. Try to lock the Fords into their defensive third here as Nick John takes the ball approximately 15 yards from his end line. Throw over the head of Sam Yarish, and it will be knocked out of bounds by the Fords. Red Dragons throw. And another throw on the far sideline as the Fords not allowing a cross to get into the box so far on this trip down the field. Nick John guarding Sutherland. Sutherland now one-on-one. Sutherland tries to beat Nick John to the end line. His touch goes too far out in front. And that will be a goal kick for the Fords. Willigan lining the ball up here on the 6. 23:30 to play here in the opening half. A scoreless game here on Walton Field. The winner of this game going to the NCAA semifinals in Kansas City, Missouri in 2 weekends. Header won by Yarish, but it will be settled by the Red Dragons. There the Fords take away the possession. Walcott again hits the turf. Referee will blow that dead. And we also have a SUNY Oneonta player down on the play. Referee signaling to stop the clock as at 22:42 he will bring on the SUNY Oneonta trainer. Oneonta anticipating a sub here as number 17, Alex Wilson, stepping up to the midfield stripe, looking like he's going to go in for his injured teammate, Alex Winiarski. And that will be the case. It will be Alex Wilson, the senior defender, checking in for Winiarski. Wilson has appeared in 15 matches this year for the Red Dragons, making 3 starts. Winiarski walking off with the trainer, but when we resume play, it will be a Haverford kick just past the midfield circle with Corkery on the ball. Referee blows the whistle. Corkery puts his right hand up. He knocks it into the box. Taken by Pellegrino. Grabbed out of the air. Corkery put that a little further than he intended to, I believe. And Pellegrino will punt this away. Header by Nicholson, won by, or should say settled by Corkery. He'll find Nick John, and again it's Corkery. Corkery plays a long ball to Walcott. Walcott pressuring Silvestro, but unable to take away the possession. Red Dragons now. Mateo saves it from going out of bounds. He'll find Passatore. Passatore finds Sutherland. They'll play it on to Petrell, but that pass too far as Petrell shielded by Colin Seitz, allowing Sam Miller to come off his line and pick up that rolling ball in the box. Miller's punt. Headed out of bounds by the Red Dragons. That will be a throw-in for Nick John. He looks to find Haverford sub Ben Field. Now it goes back to Corkery. Corkery looking for Walcott. He had Field running down the sideline, but was looking for Walcott. Ball settles with Yarish and now Seitz. Seitz guarded by Mateo. He creates some room for John. John now racing towards the end line. His cross in the box. Nobody home. And that ball will roll all the way across for Petrell. Fords will keep the possession. Sam Yarish and Walcott doing the honors there. Ball finds its way back to Willigan and Nick John. Now it will be Willigan who will try to play the long ball to Field. Field jostling for position. He's now double teamed. Lays it off to Yarish. Yarish lays it off to Nicholson. Nicholson tries to find Yarish in the box. Knocked away by the Red Dragons defense, and it will be picked up by Pellegrino here. Just over 20 minutes to play here in the opening half. Nicholson challenges a kick from Pellegrino. There's Seitz coming up for the second ball. He'll win possession for his side. Now Yarish will play it up to Colin Seitz. Colin Seitz finds Brady. Brady Seitz now with one defender to beat till the end line. Triple team now on Brady Seitz. He'll play it off to Nicholson. Nicholson back to Brady Seitz, who finds Colin Seitz. Colin Seitz now taking space in the middle of the field. He doesn't like what he sees. He'll play it back to Willigan. Willigan looking for Yarish. Yarish back to Willigan. Willigan's pass intended for Yarish, knocked away by the Red Dragons defense. Nicholson and number 20, Corey Santangelo. Santangelo wins that ball away as Nicholson whistled for the foul, and the Red Dragons will get the possession back. And there you see Nick John dispossessing the Red Dragons defense. Willigan playing it to his goalkeeper Sam Miller. Miller will have to clear that one away as it came off of his foot. Headed back in by Jared Van Brunt. Sutherland also looking to get a piece of that ball, but unsuccessfully mounting an offensive challenge on that series as Miller picks up the rolling ball in the box, and he will punt it away. The best punt we've seen so far of Miller, as the wind appears to have died down a little on the field. Brady Seitz wins that ball. They'll find Yarish in the middle of the field. Brady Seitz tries to flick around Mateo. Second ball is taken by Pertel, but Colin Seitz steps up to keep the ball in play. Play gets a little chippy down there in the corner, but it will be out of bounds. A throw in to be taken by Mateo of the Red Dragons. Colin Seitz promptly heads it back in. His header won by Passatore. Passatore knocks it back out. And we will see our second sub of the game for Haverford, number 18, Jamin Olmstead. Olmstead, the typical sub for Nick John, has appeared in all 21 matches this season. For the Fords defense, was a starter on the team a year ago. He'll assume that right back position. There you see Olmsted's first touches of the game. He'll quickly lay it off to Corkery as Corkery looks into the box for Yaris, just over his head, knocked out by Wilson. Olmsted again resets. Field looking for Yaris in the middle. Yaris steps in to collect that pass. Now Yaris taking space across the middle of the field. He's guarded by Wilson. He'll play it back to Corkery. Corkery also guarded by Wilson. He'll find Willigan to keep the possession. Win now picking up just as I say it stopped. Brady Seitz headed on, knocked out by the defense. Nicholson knocks it back into Walcott. Walcott and Corkery. Olmsted and Corkery trying to play a little 1-2 passing. A little too hard from Corkery, and that will be a Red Dragons throw. Throw in defended there by T-John Walcott. That will go off of him, and it will be another Red Dragons throw here on the far sideline. Russ Nicholson steps up to take that pass away, but Anthony Passatore also steps up and wins the possession back for his side. Passatore wins the ball for his side. He's looking for Sutherland, but that ball knocked out of bounds by Macklin Willigan. Cross into the box. Too far for either team, and that ball will roll over the end line. The assistant referee on the near sideline points to the 6, and that will be a goal kick to be taken by Willigan. 15:30 to play here. No action on the scoreboard. The Fords thought they had an early goal on a corner that was disallowed, but we are scoreless here as we wind to 15 minutes remaining here in the first half of this NCAA quarterfinal matchup. Mateo looking, sees nothing. He likes. He'll throw it deep. That will be Ben Clark taking the possession. He finds ahead of Nicholson, but Passatore will settle the possession. Passatore now finds Sutherland, guarded by Clark, and it will be Clark who emerges. Brady Seitz now tried to keep it in on the far sideline unsuccessfully as he was guarded by Mateo, and it will be Mateo to take the throw. Russ Nicholson comes in to head that one away. Silvestro steps up, but it will be Nicholson who wins the second ball. Brady Seitz knocks it back to Colin Seitz. Colin Seitz looking for Walcott this time down the near sideline. Out of bounds, and it will be a throw-in. Play works it over to Silvestro. He'll reverse fields over to the far side. Fords take back the possession here. Ben Clark and Macklin Willigan with the ball. Willigan now taking space. He's got Santangelo near him. Santangelo not committing. Willigan now with time. He'll play a long ball to Ben Field. Field with the possession, but he's double teamed and the possession taken back by the Red Dragons. That is Passatore. Now finds Sutherland. Sutherland and Petrell. The pass puts Petrell ahead of the play, but Russ Nicholson and Colin Seitz there to defend that, and it's Colin Seitz putting a stick on Sutherland. Sutherland now with the ball again. Sutherland in the box, looking for his teammate. Attempted bicycle kick, finds its way out to Passatore. Will Corkery now blocks it away. And a great save there. Dylan Williams broke in along the near post. Another fine stop from Sam Miller. That will be out of bounds for a corner, but trouble evaded for the time being for the Fords. Corner to be taken by Williams. out of the reach of everybody. That ball will go out over the end line. Referee will stop the clock here as Miller trainers out checking on Miller. It appeared nobody touched that ball, but the referee saw something and he appears ready to award a second consecutive corner here to the Red Dragons when we resume play. .24 here to play in the first half. Again, little break in the action as training staff out there checking on Miller. Went down on that corner kick. He's now walking with the trainer, so and it looks like Miller will have to come out of this game, so that will, the honorable mention all-conference keeper for the Fords out. It will be Chris Gibson entering play. Gibson will be tested here early on with a corner. And that will be a foul whistled on the Red Dragons in the box. Gibson on the year has appeared in 4 matches for the Fords, 66 total minutes of playing time. He's made 2 saves, has not conceded a goal, been part of 3 solo shutouts for the Fords. Or 3 combined shutouts, excuse me, with Miller and several of his other goaltending teammates. Ball now finds its way down to Yarish. He'll drop the ball and leave it for Olmsted here. Olmsted throws it for Ben Field. Ben Field tries to beat his defender to the sideline, to the end line. He will do so. Field with the cross blocked away by Silvestro. And the box finds its way out to Yarish. Yarish dispossessed, but Nicholson has it. Nicholson does the safe play and goes back to Corkery. Corkery now looking for and finds Sights. Sights keeps it in play. Corkery finds Yarish. Yarish now defended. He's going to try and create some space. Turns around and finds Brady Sights. Brady Sights now toward the end line. Taken away by the Red Dragons, but Ben Clark there to step up and keep the possession for his side. Yarish now finds Walcott. Walcott and they will award a penalty here. It should say a free kick here. Silvestro does not like the call. He's voicing his objection. Mateo also in there. Mateo, obviously, the referee will move him back off the ball here. 9:39 to play here in the opening half. It looks like one would expect Will Corkery to be taking this set piece, even though there are Yorish and Seitz join him on the ball. Will be Corkery. Corkery's shot blocked down by the wall. Settled by Yorish. That will bring a stop to this game as a direct hit to the wall knocked a Red Dragons player off his feet. Referee obviously wants to make sure he is okay. I believe that is Passatore, who did a nice job of knocking the ball down, but obviously took a decent blow with just standing 10 yards away from the kick from Corkery, as Corkery was looking to score on that. Passatore will have to step off for a moment, but he is immediately waved back on as the Red Dragons offered no sub for him. Nicholson tries to find Yorish, unsuccessful, but the ball is settled by Olmsted on the sideline. Again settled by Olmsted. Red Dragons come up to intercept that. Nicholson heads it on to Walcott. Walcott goes down. Referee says play on. Now it's Passatore with the ball in the midfield. Brady Seitz defending. Now Corkery defending. Finally it's Olmsted who takes away the possession. Ben Field has it. He's looking for Brady Seitz. Finds Petrell and Mateo. Now the ball works its way back to Passatore, and Petrell plays it into the box. New keeper Chris Gibson comes off his line to pick it up. And he will let the line get set here. Booming punt by Gibson. Challenged by Yorish, but it will be Passatore who comes up with the possession. Passatore now plays it looking for Petrell. Petrell and Clark on a race down to the end line. It is Clark and Petrell get tangled up. Clark appeared not to be able to get up. Petrell still fighting for the ball. Referees will converge here, and we'll see what the call will be. It looks like they are going to call a foul on Clark for obstruction. So basically a modified corner here for the Red Dragons, as Greg Silvestro will put this ball in. Punched away by Gibson. Gibson comes off his line, and Brady Seitz will come up to clean the rest of it away. It will go out of bounds for a throw-in, but not before we see some subs for Oneonta. Number 21, Darren Gomez. Number 27, Dylan Johnson. And number 32, Brandon Arango. Haverford will counter that sub with number 22, Ryan Hill, coming on to the pitch. Throw in on the far sideline, they'll look for Wilson. Taking space across the top of the box, they'll find Passatore. Brady Seitz comes in from behind the play to take possession away, and now it will be Seitz with possession. A lot of players getting tangled up there with Seitz in the midfield, but the foul will go against the Ford senior. And with the kick about 20 yards shy of midfield, it will be Pellegrino who comes in to take this kick. Pellegrino plays it. Olmsted defending. Ball headed out of there by Darren Gomez. He's looking for his teammate on the sideline, Clark. Ben Field Field, I should say, trying to win the ball for Haverford. He does not get direct possession, but he will win a kick for the Fords. 2 more subs for Haverford here with 5:33 to go in the opening half. Number 30, Max Krieg, and number 11, William Edwards, coming in for Sites and Yarish. Head coach Shane Rainier getting his 2 first-team all-conference players a little bit of a break here before he'll send them back out for the second half of action. Nice step by Mateo, wins possession, but Colin Sites takes it back. Field fights for the ball. He'll win it from Arango. Plays it to Corkery, and Corkery will play it to Willigan. Here's Nicholson now taking space. He'll look for William Edwards, the new sub, into the game with his first touches. Plays it back to Willigan. There you see Jamin Olmstead. He looks for Ryan Hill. Hill unsuccessful in settling his first touch, but the ball will be knocked out of bounds by SUNY Oneonta, and it will be a throw-in for the Fords to be taken by Olmstead. Field and Hill unable to connect. The Red Dragons will take possession here. Bodies get tangled. Russ Nicholson falls down, but he will be whistled for the foul just inside of midfield. And it will be a kick upcoming here for the Red Dragons as we wind under 4 minutes to play here in the opening half. Still a scoreless game, 0-0. Direct kick headed away by Colin Sites. Krieg will give chase, but Mateo will get there first, and he'll just let it roll. He'll settle for the throw. Field now heads the throw from Mateo away, and Mateo will step another 10 yards up the field and take another throw. Oneonta now settling into the box, so I would expect this throw to go there. Ball finds its way on the foot of the sub Dylan Johnson, but Max Krieg there on a couple of occasions to block shots and eventually knock the possession away. Knock the ball away. Red Dragons keep possession, but now Colin Sites takes it back. He'll play Field, playing on the left side of the field now. Step from Van Brunt. He'll knock possession back to Colin Sites. Colin Sites guarded by Arango, the new sub, into the game. Ball will go off of Arango here, and it will be Colin Sites for the throw. Mateo steps into that one, but he just knocks it back to Clark, and now Clark will take it up the field. He'll beat Arango, find some space for Krieg. Krieg doesn't see anything in front of him, so he'll play the safe ball back to Colin Sites, and Sites will swing it over to Willigan. Will Corkery looking for Olmstead. Olmstead now looking for Will Edwards. Edwards defended there. His pass not quite enough for Corkery. So it will be Alex Wilson who comes away with it, but that ball too far out in front. It will be a throw-in for the Red Dragons as we are under 2 minutes here to play in the opening half. Long ball looking for Field. Knocked away. Looked like Ryan Hill had a shot at it. That ball just out of his reach. Hill made the diving stab at it, but was unsuccessful. Passatore will just knock the ball out of bounds, and Colin Sites will come over here to put the ball back into play via the throw-in. He looks for Ryan Hill. Hill looking for Clark. Ball defended by the Red Dragons, and they will regroup as Santangelo finds Wilson. Ball works its way up to Dylan Johnson, but it will be won back by Corkery, as you hear on the PA and can see on your screen. 1 minute now remaining in the first half. Ryan Hill challenging down in the corner. Hill's second challenge, knocked out of bounds off him. It will be a Red Dragons throw with 45 seconds to play here in the opening half. Throw in off of the Red Dragons. Head coach Shane Rainier imploring his squad to push forward here, see if they can find an early goal. Will Corkery looking for field. That ball will be a corner here for the Fords. 20 seconds to play. 15 seconds now as they want Corkery to take it. 12. 10 seconds now. 8 seconds. Corkery puts it in with 6. And that ball slightly rushed, knocked out of bounds by Passatore. We will count down to 0 here in the opening half. So a 0-0 game here. Haverford ball. 45 minutes here if we do not need overtime to send a team to Kansas City. Oneonta making its 5th appearance in the NCAA quarterfinals in program history. The Fords the furthest they've ever been, looking to keep this historic season alive. As we get the half underway, the Fords will start the second half the same way Oneonta did the first. They'll knock a ball deep. Oneonta's went out for a throw. Haverford's kick goes out over the end line, and it will be a goal kick to be taken by Pellegrino. Pellegrino's header challenged by Nicholson. Second ball won by Oneonta, and possession settled by Oneonta. However, the pass from number 9, Hans Petrell, can't find his intended target, and it will be out of bounds for a Ford's throw. Haverford's first possession here of the second half. Looks like Brady Seitz looking for Walcott. Walcott shielded away from the ball as Pellegrino comes out of the net. Collects that one in the box. He'll punt it away. Headed on by Petrell. Dylan Williams now. Taken away by Nicholson. He plays to Corkery. Ben Clark looking for a player in the middle of the field. He cannot find one. So Oneonta will take the possession here. Sean Vinberg and Dylan Williams. From Vinberg to Williams. Williams pass over the head of the Oneonta offensive player. Passatore's shot over the crossbar. Early chance here from the Red Dragons. Sails high over the crossbar, and that will be a goal kick with Gibson in goal. Looks like he will now be taking his own kicks. 43 minutes, just over 43 minutes to play here in the half. Gibson's kick headed on by Nicholson. Michael Carr unable to run on as Silvestro plays it ahead, but Nicholson takes that pass. Seitz working on Mateo. He'll let the ball roll and try to beat him to the far side of the field. Mateo defends, but Seitz gets the ball back. Seitz in the box. Tijon Walcott cannot get a... Not sure if he got a kick on that or not in the box. Either way, it went off of Van Brunt, the Conference Player of the Year in the SUNY AC, and that will be out of bounds for a corner kick here. This is where the Fords almost took the lead in the first half. They will look for the lead with Corkery putting the ball in play here. 42:30 remaining in the game. Corkery's kick into the box, headed out by the Red Dragons. Corkery's again tries to cross it in, blocked down by Passatore. Nick John will look for Nicholson, but Oneonta regroups and Mateo takes the possession. He'll knock it off of Nicholson, but it'll stay in bounds. Nicholson plays it back to Willigan. Willigan slips it around the pressuring player, Dylan Williams. So Nick John's pass to Walcott broken up by Alex Wilson, and the Red Dragons will bring it the other way, but Tijon Walcott takes it away from Passatore. Walcott defended by Van Brunt, and that ball taken away from the Fords all-conference forward. Haverford takes possession back here in the midfield. Nicholson Gets the ball for Nick John. Nick John looking all the way down for Walcott. He's defended by Silvestro. Silvestro comes up a little bit gimpy. He appears to be in the game. Michael Carr thought about taking the throw. He'll drop it off, and Nick John will take the throw. Walcott defended by Silvestro. Walcott gets a cross in, not the cross he wanted, but ball knocked around in the box. Brady Seitz shot blocked by the defense off of Silvestro, I believe, actually put that on goal. Sam Yars tried to run onto it, but not before Pellegrino could snatch that one off the grass. Pellegrino's punt booted back by Corkery, and he will have another punt. This time he'll elect to throw it down. Plays a kick from the grass, headed back by Nicholson, but Passatore will settle the possession. Passatore's pass broken up by Colin Seitz. Colin Seitz now taking on Mateo one-on-one. Mateo tries to cut the ball to the outside. Mateo goes down, gathers his feeding, and regains possession. Colin Seitz pokes it away, but foul will be called on the Ford senior captain, and it will be a kick to be taken by Pellegrino just over 5 minutes into the second half. Pellegrino waiting for his offense to get set. Plays a kick. Again, it's Nicholson challenging. Corkery also went up for a second challenge. Neither side got a head on it, but it will be Haverford with the possession as Ben Clark emerged for his team. Sam Yarish now taking on Wilson. He'll look for Seitz. Seitz may have a step on his defender. Mateo recovers. Cross into the box. Shot by Tijon Walcott. Got to that a little too late. Would have been a very tough angle shot. Did the very best he could have done with that. If he could have put it on goal, that would have been the early 1-0 lead, but ball rolled a little too far out in front of Walcott. A little too far to the right side of your screen, I should say. Walcott didn't have the angle, and that will go out of bounds for a goal kick. We'll pause here at 38-41 as the Red Dragons appear to have a defender down. Believe that is Mateo, who was defending Brady Seitz on the cross. Mateo down in the spot where Seitz, almost where Seitz sent the cross from. SUNY Oneonta trainer now being waved on. Again, we are watching NCAA quarterfinal action. We'd like to thank you for tuning in. The 7th and 8th ranked teams in the country, depending on who you ask. Haverford 7th in the National Soccer Coaches Poll, Oneonta 8th. It's the reverse in the D3 soccer poll with Oneonta 7th, Haverford 8th. So we will settle who should have been the 7th ranked team, but obviously these teams not concerned about the rankings. They're concerned about punching their ticket to Kansas City, where the winner of this game will be headed. Haverford now coming over for some water here as they continue to check on Mateo. Looks like he will be coming out of the game, at least for the time being, as Oneonta presents Darren Gomez, a senior defender from Hopewell Junction, New York. Number 21 is Gomez. He will assume that back position, it appears. Mateo walking off under his own power. He'll give Gomez a high five as they pass. but nonetheless he will come off the field for at least the time being. We'll see if he re-emerges as a sub at some point during this second half. Pellegrino to take a goal kick. Header won by Seitz, possession won by Yarish. Plays it back to Nicholson. And Willigan, the Fords reset with their defensive line. Nick John looking for Walcott. He'll try to play it on for Yarish. A little bit far behind as Wilson got the step. Possession won back by Nicholson. It appears like Seitz and Passatore both go for the ball. It's Passatore who comes away with it. Wilson with possession, challenged by Michael Carr. Yarish steps up, knocks possession away a little bit. Yarish comes up a little bit hobbled. He'll stay in the play. Ball finds its way to Sutherland. Sutherland and Willigan battling it out. There's Wilson. Dylan Williams now takes possession. He looks for a cross. Colin Seitz will step up and intercept that pass. He'll play it to Ben Clark. Ben Clark will play it up to Brady Seitz. Possession taken away by the Red Dragons. Ben Clark with the initial stop, then a slide tackle. Finally possession won away by Colin Seitz. Brady Seitz going one-on-one with Pastore, tries to play it around him. Unsuccessfully so, it will go out of bounds. Throw in to be taken by the Red Dragons. Nicholson won the throw initially for the Fords. His possession taken away by the Red Dragons. Red Dragons now have the ball down the far sideline. Nicholson now takes the possession back for his team. Air wreaked a little bit of havoc with that ball. Chris Gibson tried to shield it away, let it go out over the end line. It eventually does after some minimal contact near the 6. Either way, it will be a goal kick for the Fords to be taken by Chris Gibson. Gibson's ball challenged by Corkery. Unsuccessful, but Carr will take the possession. Nick John goes down as he's challenged by Williams. Fans want a call, they will not get one. Oneonta now taking the possession. Russ Nicholson intercepts that pass from Vinberg. Nicholson now guarded by Passatore. Nicholson looking for Walcott. He'll find him. Walcott now looking for Carr. Carr sees no space. He'll play Walcott. Walcott now guarded by Passatore. He'll see Sam Yarish. Nicholson tried to play a ball into the box for Brady Seitz. Too far out in front. Easy stop there, or easy collection there from Pellegrino. As we approach the 35 minutes remaining here in regulation time, that punt from Pellegrino out of bounds to the far sideline. It will be a throw for the Fords. Throw in for Colin Seitz. He's targeting Walcott. Walcott again goes to Nicholson. Nicholson taken down from behind. Challenge from behind on Sean Vinberg. That'll be a foul on the Oneonta defense. Now we are officially under 35 minutes to play here in regulation time. Looks like it will be Will Corkery from about 10 yards inside of the 50. The Red Dragons set their defense at the 18. Seitz with his defender. Walcott and his defender fall down. There will be no call. Nick John now with the ball. Nick John plays it into the box. Willigan challenging. A little bit of a collision there. Referee says something to Willigan as he passes, but that will not be a foul. Ball taken away by Nick John. Nick John finds Yarish. Now Michael Carr. Michael Carr trying to find the end line. Very physical challenge from Darren Gomez. Fans looking for a call. Again, it will go roll over the end line for a kick, and that will bring on a sub for the Fords in Benfield. We saw him in the first half go in for Carr. We would expect to see Carr back at some point during the second half. Kick by Pellegrino, won by Nicholson, and eventually Yorish. Walcott tries to play it up ahead. And there will be a Red Dragons possession. Passatore tried to play it up to his striker. Ben Clark with the step. Pass it up the field. Passatore heads it out of bounds, and it will be a throw-in for the Fords. Colin Seitz. He will have Russell Nicholson check to him. Nicholson will find his fellow midfielder in Corkery. Corkery will play it back to John with a square pass. John's ball to Willigan. Willigan under pressure, looks for Field. Taken away by Gomez, and the Red Dragons will take possession here. Dylan Williams looking for Alex Wilson. Wilson plays the ball down the far sideline. Nick John will be challenged by Sutherland. Sutherland with the ball. Sutherland wins that possession. Into the box, too far. He was looking for Hans Petrell, but too much. And Colin Seitz will win that ball. Brady Seitz and Passatore, they've been going back and forth all day long with very physical play. That call goes against Passatore. Will be Corkery dropping back to take this kick. Long kick, nearly makes the box, headed away by Gomez. Second ball won by Walcott. Yarish now. Yarish finds Field. Field looking for space. He's slide tackle. That will stop the clock, and I believe the referee will give a yellow card warning to Darren Gomez, our first warning of the match. Will be Corkery. That ball in a very tedious spot. Can't be more than a foot outside the box. I didn't realize the foul actually occurred that close to the box. I would have thought it was a little more space, but that will be where the ref spots it. Will Corkery here. Wall at the 6. Ball blocked out. And headed away from the Oneonta defense. Oneonta now with a 2-on-1. Sutherland and Santangelo. Ford's defense regroups looking for Santangelo. Over his head, that ball will be played to Alex Wilson. There's Dylan Williams now as the Ford's entire defense has returned. Header won by Nick John, but Petrell will settle. Anthony Passatore shoots it over the crossbar, and we will see a sub for the Fords with 31 minutes to play. Jamin Olmstead, the first half sub, back in for Nick John. Olmstead, the junior, out of Hadley, Massachusetts. He'll come into the right back position for Nick John, just as he did in the first half. Goal kick by 1-2 Walcott. Walcott plays it to Field. Great sliding stop by Pellegrino. That will go over the end line, but it was off of Pellegrino, and another chance here for the Fords. Fords definitely creating some opportunities here. In the second half, Will Corkery now to insert it. Fords putting 5, both hands up this time. He signals he's ready to go. Will Corkery into the box. Walcott and Willigan were there. That ball may have been punched by the keeper, Pellegrino. Either went off a punch or a head. Either way, it will be a second corner for the Fords upcoming. Will Corkery now takes the walk to the far side of the field. Under 30 minutes to play. Ball into the box. So Nicholson was on that far post. as he gives Corkery the thumbs up sign, but he was unable to do anything as that ball went out of bounds untouched. It will be a goal kick from Pellegrino. Header put on by Yarish. Yarish finds Walcott. Walcott denied by Pellegrino. Great stop there. Yarish now with possession. Yarish finds Field. Field in the box. He shoots. And that ball will go out over the end line looking, I'm not sure if he was trying to find sights on the far post or if he was going to goal. Either way, it will be a goal kick for Pellegrino. Obviously, these chances as we wind down become more and more crucial here in this 0-0 game. Just under 29 minutes to play now. Header on the goal kick won by Nicholson. Yarish and Walcott head. Play will be eventually settled by Corkery. Corkery looking for Ben Field. Ben Field's had some success down in that corner. This time he'll go middle. Brady Seitz chested down too far out in front. And Oneonta slips in the defensive third. Now a turnover. Yarish takes away. Yarish shot off of the Oneonta defense. There is Colin Seitz out wide. That will be a corner kick upcoming here for the Fords. The last touch was the block off of Yarish's shot. Colin Seitz was content to just shield that ball out of play, and it will be a corner for the Fords. Fords again elect to play the short corner. And Corkery's down, but he looks to be okay. Just knocked off his feet momentarily. Pastore with the contact on that play. Corkery now. Wall will be set for the Red Dragons just inside of the 18. Probably about 5 yards in between Corkery and the ball, about 18 yards from the end line. Corkery shot into the side of the net. Got the fans saw the net ripple, got a little bit excited, but it is just a shot into the side of the net. And there we see the sub of Matthew Mateo back on the field for the Red Dragons. He was the player who went off earlier with an injury, so now training staff has checked him out and given him the clearance to come back in, and he will do so with 26:30 to play. Goal kick headed by Alex Wilson, settled by Corkery. He can't find Field though. Darren Gomez stays on. His ball poked away by Corkery. That'll win the possession back for the Fords. Olmsted. Walcott now. Walcott will let it roll. Guarded by Mateo. Silvestro tries to knock it into the Fords defensive third. Corkery there to deny that chance. They'll play it to Corkery and eventually Colin Seitz. Colin Seitz finds Yarish, and there's Brady Seitz. Brady Seitz goes back into the midfield. Now they find Yarish. Yarish down in. Now Yarish looking for a cross. Doesn't get the cross, but it will be another corner for the Fords. They're fourth in a span of just minutes. Again, they did have the goal waved off on an offsides call on a corner earlier in the first half. 0-0 here, as it will be just about 25 minutes to play when Corkery puts this ball into play. Corkery's into the box. Skimmed an initial head and headed out of the box by, I believe that is Silvestro. Jamin Olmsted stepping now about 2 to 3 yards from the end line. He'll make a throw. He'll play it short to Walcott. Walcott plays to Olmsted. Olmsted knocked down slightly by the defense. Walcott still battling. 2 players now. Possession won by Corkery. Now Walcott going in. And it will be another throw in from the very similar spot. This time Walcott will play it to Olmsted. Walcott plays it into the box over the head of Yarish. And it will be, I believe that is Red Dragons ball now coming out. Russ Nicholson chases the play down from behind. Stops the momentum momentarily. Ben Clark will allow his defense the chance to get back as he knocks it out of play. It will be a Redkins throw. Red Dragons throw. Number 27, Dylan Johnson, the junior midfielder, coming on for the Red Dragons here. Ball won by Haverford, put too far out in front. Number 17, Wilson, headed up in the air. Second header won by Ackland Willigan. Wilson again tries to win the ball out there. Flicked up in the air by Olmsted. There's Dylan Johnson's first touches. Field and Johnson collapse, no call there. Ball played up to Walcott. He gets a touch but can't keep control. Jamin Olmsted, second ball won by Ben Field. He'll play it off of Darren Gomez, and it will be out of bounds for a throw here for the Fords. Under 23 minutes to play now in this NCAA quarterfinal matchup. Olmsted takes a step and a throw. He'll look for Walcott. Walcott double teamed with Gomez and Mateo. Oneonta bench pointing in their direction, signaling it should have been their throw, but the ref will give it to Olmsted. Corkery now with the ball in the midfield, looking for space. He sees Collins Seitz on a nice switch. Seitz with a little stumble. He has more than enough time to set his feet, but the cross is unsuccessful. Jared Van Brunt in there to step in front of that. Showing. Slide by Russell Nicholson, knocks it off of the Red Dragons midfield, and it will be a Haverford throw. Under 22 minutes now to play here in this NCAA quarterfinal. We still have not seen a goal from either side. Makes you wonder if the first goal of the game will also be the only goal of the game, which makes every possession here critical from here on out. The winner of this match books a flight to Kansas City. Mateo out here and turned into the midfield by Alex Wilson. Now the Red Dragons bring it all the way across the field. Being defended by Olmsted. Olmsted wins the possession back for Haverford. Hill boot the ball upfield and we chased down by Silvestro. Walcott comes over to challenge. Silvestro's kicked, settled by Corkery. Darren Gomez comes in from behind to knock possession away to Passatore. Passatore's pass then finds Collins Seitz. Collins Seitz finds Brady Seitz. Brady Seitz now makes a move in the midfield, looking for Field on a crossing run. Unable to connect, and that ball will roll into the box for Pellegrino. 20-20 remaining here in the second half. Scoreless here on Walton Field. NCAA quarterfinal action. Collins Seitz goes up for the challenge. It will be off of him, and the Red Dragons will be awarded a throw. Will Corkery steps in front of that pass to intercept. He'll play it back to his defense in Willigan and Clark. Clark now working up to Nicholson. Nicholson looking for Field. Field has Olmsted running down the sideline. Olmsted has Gomez running step for step with him. Corkery trailing the play. He'll settle the possession. Finds Nicholson in the Middle of the field again. Nicholson was looking for field as well. That ball knocked out by Mateo. Corkery will now play a cross over to Colin Seitz. That ball will be headed away from the Ford senior captain. Nicholson appeared to have won the header, but referee will blow that play dead. Said there was too much contact there for his liking. Under 19 minutes to play now in the second half. NCAA quarterfinal. Still no score. Direct kick just shy of the box. Ben Clark steps up to head that out of danger. Pass finds Walcott. Walcott chests it down to Field. Field takes one touch with it and is tripped by Darren Gomez. This kick to be taken by Willigan. Willigan's kick into the box just shy of Walcott. Headed up in the air. Field. Little contact with Wilson. Referee says there was nothing there worth calling. Ben Field. Nutmeg on Mateo. He shoots into the side of the goal. It's off of Mateo, however. And that will prompt subs from Oneonta as number 18, Dylan Williams, comes onto the pitch, as do number 14, Michael Carr, makes his return, and number 30, Max Krieg, as Sam Yarish and Brady Seitz step off momentarily. Got to imagine head coach Shane Rainier is not going to keep his 2 stars on the bench long, but for the time being, Corkery puts the ball into play, snagged by Pellegrino out of the air. And we will see a punt upcoming here from the Red Dragons keeper. Headed on by Oneonta. Number 27, Dylan Johnson, now with the ball, being guarded by Clark. Olmstead with the step on that ball into the box, knocks it away. Krieg with a second kick out, but Pastore settles. Mateo plays it down to Williams. Williams guarded by Olmstead and Carr. Carr with the stab, and that will knock it out of bounds. Throw in here to Mateo. Macklin Willigan with a nice step there in the defense. That will win the possession back for the Fords. Walcott and Field. Field dispossessed by Silvestro. Silvestro now guarded by Corkery. He'll slip. He'll still get a play off. Dylan Johnson pressuring Willigan for the ball. He goes over top to do so, and the referee will whistle that one as a foul on Oneonta. As we approach 16 minutes to play here, still scoreless on Walton Field. Willigan just plays the safe pass to Clark. Willigan now with some space. He'll take it before finding Walcott. Walcott's touch. Tried to drop it back to Nicholson. Both players hit the turf. Referee says nothing, so we will play on. Ball tried to be punched out by Gibson. McCorkery there backing up. Corkery clears that out of harm's way. This time it's Olmstead who clears it out of harm's way. Olmstead with a stab, unsuccessful. Santangelo now with a cross. That ball caught by Chris Gibson inside his own 6. Not really under any pressure, but at this point in the game, any little mistake is obviously season altering. Gibson elects to go not with the punt. He'll put it down and play a free kick. Krieg runs onto that free kick. He'll play it on, but Michael Carr unable to get to that kick before Pellegrino does, as we are now under 15 minutes to play here on Walton Field. NCAA quarterfinal action. Santangelo now with the ball being guarded by Nicholson. Krieg comes over to apply pressure. They'll get rid of that ball to Dylan Williams. He was looking for Mateo, but knocked out of bounds by Michael Carr. That will prompt a pair of subs for one for each side as number 10 Jake Sutherland comes on as a striker for the Red Dragons. Number 22 Ryan Hill comes on for the Fords as we have 13:57 to play. Throw from Mateo goes into the box, headed up by Olmsted. This time headed by Corkery. Eventually it's Krieg who comes away with it. His pass finds Field. Field and Passatore going step for step. Field unable to keep possession as the ball rolls out over the sideline, but a great job there by the Ford sophomore to at least break the pressure that the Red Dragons were building. Red Dragons throw here along the sideline, defended by Seitz, poked away by Krieg, who finds Hill. Hill now with a double team on the sideline. That ball will go out of bounds. The referee, Oneonta, tries to go with a quick throw. The referee blows his whistle for that one, says no, it is a Haverford throw. Under 13 minutes now to play in regulation time. Colin Seitz will take this throw. He'll play Nicholson, who has space. Nicholson's pass deflected. Krieg caught off guard by the misdirection, but it'll get knocked back out to the defense. Offense again goes through Krieg, this time Nicholson. Looking for Ben Field out. Who's going to look for the end line again? Tries for the cross, cannot do it. Ball appeared to hit the arm of the Oneonta defender. No call there. I didn't even see the signal for play on, so we will keep going. Jamin Olmsted with a service into the box. Russ Nicholson plays it to Colin Seitz. Eventually Ryan Hill with a shot. That ball goes wide of the goal. And we are under 12 minutes here to play on Walton Field. NCAA quarterfinal action. Oneonta Haverford 0-0. Pellegrino about to take a goal kick. Ball headed up in the air by Carr. Knocked backwards by Krieg. That pass finds Olmsted. Olmsted's pass goes over the head of Passatore, but Ben Field unable to win the possession away from the Red Dragons defense. Referee says play on. Ben Field now. Field looking for the end line. Ball will be knocked up by Van Brunt, and that will be a throw-in for the Fords. 11 minutes exactly to play as Colin Seitz gets the ball. He will make the quick throw to Nicholson. Nicholson's service into the box. Scooped up by Pellegrino after a short skip, and he will punt this one away. Pellegrino's punt headed on by the Red Dragons. Colin Seitz there to defend. Referee keeping Corkery and Dylan Johnson separate after it was Dylan Johnson who was whistled for that foul. Just over 10 minutes to play now. It will be a kick taken by Gibson. That finds Krieg. Krieg looking for Carr. Mateo wins possession back, but Corkery intercepts his pass. Ball works its way over to the defense. Eventually Clark will take possession. Colin Seitz challenging. That ball will go off of the Red Dragons, and now you see the three all-conference forwards coming back for the Fords. A pair of first-teamers in Yarish and Brady Seitz. An honorable mention pick in Tijon Walcott for Fords looking to make the push here in the final 9:30 as Krieg, Hill, and Field all check out of the game. I have to imagine Haverford now has their starting 11 minus Miller in the game. So actually, Nick John is on the sideline too. Not sure if we'll see a sub, as Olmsted has been very solid defensively. There's a cross by Carr. Too far for Walcott, not far enough for Brady Seitz, and it is snagged by Pellegrino. In the box, under 9 minutes now to play. The way these defenses are playing, you have to think the first goal in this game will be the game-winning goal. Ball played in by Pertrell. Won by Haverford. Pass from Seitz is intercepted, but the deflection finds its way to Corkery. Corkery plays the ball to Walcott. Walcott now heads it too far out in front. Silvestro was stride for stride with him, and it will be out of bounds for a Red Dragons throw. 8 minutes left in regulation time. Better one by Dylan Williams. Jake Sutherland again with Corkery and Carr there on the double team that win possession back for Haverford. Ball in the Ford's defensive third now. Clark will play it up to Nicholson. Nicholson looking for Yarish. Yarish looking for Seitz. Seitz, or Walcott looking for Yarish. Yarish now back to Walcott. Walcott played a pass in front, just a step out in front of Yarish, who is also shielded by the defense. That will be a goal kick for Pellegrino. Yarish gives his teammate a pat on the back as he knows they may have had something working there. Goal kick from Pellegrino, won by Nicholson. Ball taken away from the Red Devils now. Cross in front of the goal, intended for Sutherland. Nice stop by Chris Gibson to break up that pass as we wind under 7 minutes now to play here in the regulation section. Gibson did pick it up, but he will put it down and kick it away. Two heads find Walcott eventually. Walcott's touch just out of the reach of Brady Seitz, and it will be a Red Dragons throw. Headed on by Corkery, headed back out by the Red Dragons. Nicholson puts it right back in. Seitz now looking for Carr, too much, but Jamin Olmsted with a step. That ball finds Brady Seitz. Brady Seitz now to Michael Carr. Michael Carr in the box, one-on-one with his defender. Michael Carr and Mateo get tangled up. Referee will whistle Carr for the contact. Under 6 minutes now to play in regulation time. Pellegrino takes the free kick. He's looking for Dylan Williams. Dylan Williams looking for Sutherland. Double team in place. Haverford objecting vehemently to that call, but it will be a throw for the Red Dragons, but Willigan steps up, the all-conference defender. Thought he was going to win a throw for his team, but it will be a kick for his team, actually, as he was fouled by Sutherland. Referee says he'll play the quick ball to Ben Clark as we wind under 5 minutes now to play an NCAA quarterfinal action here on Walton Field. Michael Carr tries to pass around Mateo, unsuccessful. Red Dragons will take over possession there. Pass too far on the cross. Colin Seitz there to take possession. Sam Yarish now the conference player of the year, looking for any kind of room. He'll reverse his fields, find Nicholson and Seitz. Slate's challenged, but the pass back will find Nicholson. Nicholson now will eventually get the ball back as he finds Walcott near the, just outside of the 18. Walcott now with a pass to Yarish. Yarish unsuccessful in beating his defender. Ben Clark with a big defensive step will keep the pressure on the Red Dragons. Clark now takes it inside the box by Walcott. Yarish now with it outside the box. He'll look for, initially looking for Walcott. Referee says play on. He was going to call the foul, but he'll play the advantage. Olmsted now. That ball knocked out by Van Brunt, and it will be a foul on Olmsted. Three and a half minutes to play here. Haverford bench obviously disagreeing with that call, but either way it will be a kick for Pellegrino. Sutherland with a stab, but it will be Ben Clark who settles it for the Fords. Michael Carr finds Nicholson, who knocks it up to Walcott. Walcott now defended, one on his front, one on his back. Mateo will go with him. Walcott and Mateo fighting for position as Walcott keeps possession in the box. Now a double team coming over, but Walcott knocks it off of Dylan Williams, and that will be a corner. Under 3 minutes to play, we will have a corner, but for the Fords first, we will see Ben Field sub on along as Hans Petrell for the Red Dragons. Will Corkery sets the ball how he would like it and puts his arm up as we are now at 2:30 to play. Ball into the 6 is snagged by Pellegrino. Fans now trying to call attention to the fact that Pellegrino is out of the box when he takes the kick. I personally didn't see it myself. Either way, the ref trying to be made aware. On the offensive end, the Red Dragons, Santangelo working one-on-one with Willigan. Willigan with a defensive stick, and he will get the possession up the field. Field now has Yarish square with him. Ball taken away there. Passatore and Corkery get tangled up. And Passatore sent off with a red card. Delivered, I believe it was a kick to Corkery. That is automatic red for Passatore. So with 1:26 to go, trainer waving on, or I should say the referee waving on the trainer. Corkery in an obvious amount of discomfort. Either way, it will be 11-10 for the remainder of regulation and overtime should we get there for the Fords. Will Corkery, he's going to stay in this game. Corkery showing his toughness all year long. You'd have to imagine head coach Shane Rainier would have to physically pull his junior midfielder off the field at this point in the season. He will take the kick. Into the box, headed on by Yarish. That ball will be over the end line. As we wind towards 1 minute to play now in regulation time, it will probably be almost exactly 1 minute when Pellegrino puts this ball into play. Pellegrino's ball headed on by Yarish, headed back out by Mateo. Now played on as we have exactly 1 minute to play here. Olmsted and Santangelo battling for the ball. Santangelo throws the ball away as he was not awarded the kick. Olmsted will throw it in. He'll find Field. Walcott wins the second header. He'll now try to bring the ball down to his feet. Walcott with the ball at his feet. Double teamed. He can't keep the possession. We're under 30 seconds to play here in regulation time. Foul whistled on Willigan, who appeared to have the step on the defense. 10 seconds now remaining in the game. Ball goes out the other end of the box. Van Brunt tries a last-ditch effort to put it back into the box. Nicholson there to knock it away, and we will see overtime here on Walton Field. We will be right back. Shortly we will see overtime. We read the lips of the officials right. It looks like the Red Dragons will have possession first. The Fords elected to attack the goal they were in the second half, and it looks like that is the case. Oneonta looking for a long cross here to start possession. Past Sights looking in for Field. Field comes flying in from behind the play. Challenge. Olmsted. Olmsted staying on after he came on as a sub for Nick John. Shane Rainier obviously happy with the play of his junior back, keeping him on here for the extra session as the Fords knock it around here in the defensive third, or in the midfield, excuse me. Ford setting up the attack as it's still the defense. Willigan now. Willigan looking for. And there is a collision. Brady Sights and Pellegrino. That will be a kick. Clock stopping, and as it is Sights who is still down on the field. To go in. Haverford now rallying as if there wasn't enough on the line already for today's NCAA quarterfinal. Ford's now fighting to give their senior captain at least one more game on the pitch. Colin Sights now walking off completely under his own power. So that's a very promising sign. Throws the jacket aside, obviously not happy he has to come out of this game. Already told Coach Rainier he's ready to go back in, but the training staff will have to follow protocol after a shot like that. And it will be a kick from Pellegrino as we get underway here. Just under 1 minute into the overtime session. 8:48 to be exact here in the overtime golden goal situation here. First goal scorer here gives his team punches his ticket to Kansas City along with the rest of his teammates. Possession here won by Sights. Now to Corkery. Corkery there finds Nick John. Nick John and Olmsted, if you'll remember, was on the right side. Now he switches over to the left, takes Sights' old possession. John will fill in where Olmsted was. There's John crossing. Pellegrino snags that out of the air. 8 minutes to play here in the first overtime session on Walton Field. NCAA quarterfinal action. Russ Nicholson steps up to challenge for the first time. Comes back to re-challenge after the ball skipped by him. Is whistled for the foul. Now Oneonta will reset. Oneonta looking for a cross. That ball will be out of bounds over the end line, and a goal kick for the Fords here. Just over 7 minutes to play here in the first overtime session. Chris Gibson back to put this ball into play. Yarish with the first touch, he can't trap it completely, and it will be, he challenges the second ball, it will be out of bounds for a Red Dragons throw. Yarish takes possession back, looking for Brady Seitz, unable to find him. Ball knocked away by Corkery, finds the feet of Nicholson. Nicholson looking for Field. Field able to poke it onto Yarish. Yarish now with some room to take. He'll take it, pulls up a little bit, plays it off to Nick John, who's running to his side. Pulls it back a little bit for Corkery. Corkery now finds Nicholson in the middle of the field. Nicholson finds Seitz. Seitz pokes it on, but unable to find Olmsted, who was trying to run onto that ball from his defensive position, as we now have 6 minutes to go here in the first overtime session. Punt by Pellegrino, headed by Olmsted, settled by Corkery. Plays it over to Nick John. Nick John sees nothing. He'll play Willigan. Willigan now plays Clark. Clark looking for Yarish. Yarish defended by Van Brunt. Ball knocked away, but it will be Nicholson who keeps the possession. Nick John looking for Ben Field down in the corner. Field battling. Field and Williams now battling. Ball deflected off of Mateo. They'll clear, but gets it to Willigan. Willigan's passed too much, and Van Brunt plays it. Willigan will play it back to the junior keeper, Chris Gibson. He kicks it up the midfield. Yarish unable to get there in time. Walcott will help him out, though, as he wins possession for the Fords, just a step behind Brady Seitz, as we are under 5 minutes now to play in the first overtime session. Ball taken away by the Fords here. Clark finds Corkery. There's Yarish and Seitz. Seitz loses possession momentarily. He'll win it back for his team. Taking on Winiarski. Winiarski takes down Seitz. Ref says that was clean. We'll play on. Dylan Williams now. Yarish with the ball taken away in the midfield. Sam Yarish with a shot from about 30 yards out. Had Pellegrino dive for it, but unsuccessful was the Ford senior captain to find the game winner, as we're now under 4 minutes to play here in the overtime. Brady Seitz now challenging with actually that will go out for a Red Dragons throw, the referee says. Winiarski looking for the ball in the midfield. They find trying for Williams. Nick John steps in nicely to break up that. Red Dragons with the ball just outside the box. They'll play it back to Mateo. Mateo now to Williams. Williams working one-on-one with John. Will Corkery coming over to help. Punched away by Chris Gibson. Stopped by Gibson. Punched out of bounds for a corner. Chris Gibson kept the Ford season alive for the moment. Red Dragons will still have a corner upcoming. I believe that is Silvestro walking over to the far side. 2:30 now to play in the first overtime. Silvestro. And that ball is knocked in, and it will be Oneonta advancing to the NCAA semifinals here on Walton Field. As you can imagine, just a stunned forward sideline on that corner.